Welcome to a captivating journey through a land where breathtaking nature meets the allure of youthful beauty. Today, we're diving into a country renowned not just for its stunning landscapes, but also for its vibrant culture and the youthful spirit of it. Imagine exploring lush green mountains, pristine beaches, and hidden gems, all while encountering incredibly attractive young individuals who embody the essence of this remarkable place. This is not just a travel story, it's an invitation to experience the extraordinary. So buckle up and get ready for an adventure that will leave you in awe. Don't forget to like this video, share it with your friends, and subscribe for more incredible content that will inspire your wanderlust. Number 1. Canada is the second largest country in the world. Canada covers an enormous 9.98 million square kilometers, which is equivalent to about 3.85 million square miles. Putting it in context, it's equivalent to squeezing nearly 40 countries the size of Germany into its territory. Pretty amazing, isn't it? When Canada is mentioned, one of the initial thoughts that springs to mind is its breathtaking natural scenery. This country boasts everything from the challenging Rocky Mountains in the west to the stunning Niagara Falls in the east. Oh, and we must remember the Great Lakes too. These massive bodies of fresh water are so large that you may confuse them for oceans within land. Yet Canada offers more than just nature. It also houses some of the most inclusive and varied communities in the world. Canada is home to a diverse population of 37 million, consisting of individuals from various backgrounds and lifestyles, creating a mix of cultures and traditions. Canada is larger than the whole European Union combined. Just so you know, try to comprehend that. It's mind-blowing. When it comes to the outdoors, Canada is a dream destination for those who love wildlife. It houses a variety of animals such as grizzly bears, moose, and the famous Canadian beaver. Canada prioritizes conservation due to its vast wilderness. Okay, to conclude, here's one more interesting tidbit. Canada boasts the world's longest coastline, extending across 202,000 km. That's a larger coastline than any other nation. Whether you enjoy stunning scenery, hospitable people, or are intrigued by the biggest countries on Earth, Canada offers a little something for everyone. Number the longest highways in the world is in Canada. The Trans-Canada Highway stretches an impressive 7,800 km in length. That equals approximately 4,860 miles. This extensive highway extends from the Pacific Ocean to the Atlantic Ocean, linking the whole nation. So picture yourself beginning your trip in Victoria, British Columbia, feeling the ocean breeze in your hair, and finishing in St. John's, Newfoundland, where you can observe the waves hitting the rugged coastline. Isn't that absolutely incredible? One of the most fascinating aspects of the Trans-Canada Highway is the variety of landscapes you will come across during your journey. In British Columbia, you will pass through the impressive Rocky Mountains. These massive mountains are a truly remarkable sight, especially for those who enjoy stunning landscapes and outdoor activities. Heading east, the rugged mountains transition into the wide-open prairies of Alberta, Saskatchewan, and Manitoba. Imagine vast expanses of golden wheat waving in the wind endlessly. The vibe is totally different yet just as captivating. Don't forget to have your camera prepared to capture the breathtaking sunsets the prairies are famous for. Number 3. Canada crosses 6 time zones. Are you aware that Canada spans across 6 different time zones? This fact about Canada is surprising and unfamiliar to many individuals. To begin with, we need to discuss the Atlantic region. Newfoundland and Labrador operate on a time zone of UTC 3.5. This means it is 3 hours and 30 minutes ahead of Coordinated Universal Time. Indeed, it is true that Newfoundland and Labrador have their very own distinct time zone, which is half an hour ahead of their neighboring provinces. This is quite distinctive and sets them apart as the sole location in North America with a 30-minute time variation. Next, let's shift westward to the Atlantic time zone, encompassing areas such as Nova Scotia and New Brunswick. The time here is EUCC 4, which means a time difference of 4 hours from Coordinated Universal Time. The time gap is beginning to become more consistent at this point. Afterward, we transition into the Eastern time zone, encompassing key regions such as Ontario and Quebec. This time zone is shared with cities such as New York and Toronto and is established at UCE 5. It is likely the most common time zone for many individuals. particularly if they frequently watch TV programs and sports events from the eastern region of North America. Continuing our journey westward, we reach the Central Time Zone, UT6, which encompasses portions of Manitoba and certain regions of Saskatchewan. Things start to get interesting here because certain areas in Saskatchewan do not follow daylight saving time, so they stick to standard time throughout the year. As we travel further, we reach the Mountain Time Zone with a UTSD offset of 7. For me, this particular time zone includes regions such as Alberta and the Northwest Territories. If you have visited cities such as Calgary or Edmonton, you have experienced being in the Mountain Time Zone. The stunning beauty of this region is enhanced by the presence of the Rocky Mountains and exquisite national park. Number 4, the coldest ever recorded temperature in Canada is 63°C. Did you know that the lowest recorded temperature in Canada was as cold as Mars? Yes, you heard that right. On February 3, 1947, a tiny settlement called Snag, located in the Yukon, experienced a jaw-dropping temperature of 63°C. That's colder than your freezer at home. To give you an idea of how insanely cold that is, Mars, the red planet, has surface temperatures that can drop to around 63°C as well. Imagine stepping out your front door and feeling like you're on another planet. Literally, back in 1947, Snag was a small, quiet settlement in the Yukon. It was home to a few hardy souls who braved the hard northern climate. On that fateful day in February, the residents experienced a cold snap like no other. The cold was so intense that even their breath would freeze midair, creating a misty fog around them. Number 5, Canada has national parks that are bigger than many countries. Starting off with Wood Buffalo National Park in Alberta. This enormous park spans an impressive 44,000 square km. To give some context, it's bigger than Denmark and Switzerland combined. Picture a massive park resembling the size of a country, allowing you to become immersed in the splendor of the natural world. Wood Buffalo National Park is not only vast but also houses a diverse array of animals, including one of the biggest free-roaming bison herds globally. Rare bird species, such as the whooping crane, can be seen, along with the chance of spotting a wolf or bear if you're fortunate enough. Next, let's go to the Northwest Territories and explore Nahanni National Park Reserve. This park is also vast, spanning more than 30,000 square km. That is bigger than the whole nation of Israel. Nahanni is a place of enchantment, featuring breathtaking landscapes that will leave you in awe. The South Nahanni River is well known in the park for flowing through steep canyons and next to impressive waterfalls. Virginia Falls, for instance, is double the height of Niagara Falls. That is truly impressive. Both of these parks provide limitless options for exciting experiences. Number 6. Canada eats more donuts than any other country in the world. Did you notice these delicious donuts? Canadians eat more than 1 billion of these delicious snacks annually. Considering there are approximately 30 million people, that means there are plenty of donuts for each person. So, what was the beginning of all this? Tim Horton deserves all the credit. Tim Horton, a hockey player, and his partner opened the inaugural Tim Hortons Cafe in 1964, a small coffee and donut shop in Hamilton, Ontario. It soon became a popular national sensation. Currently, Canada has more than 4,000 Tim Hortons establishments. That's one for nearly every 7,500 Canadians. It's not surprising that Canada has the highest number of donut stores per person worldwide. There is a polar bear jail in Churchill, Canada. Churchill, a small town in Manitoba, is recognized as the polar bear capital of the world. Each year, Churchill welcomes hundreds of polar bears as they make their way to the Hudson Bay. This frequently makes them come too close to humans, requiring a unique approach to handle the interactions between bears and humans. What happens when a polar bear becomes overly curious or lingers too close to the town? These bears are carefully moved to a place known by locals as the polar bear jail. However, there's no need to be concerned. It's not as severe as it may seem. Here is the process. If a bear is seen causing issues or loitering in town, wildlife authorities intervene. Tranquilizer darts are used to safely sedate the bear. After the bear falls asleep, it is taken to a holding facility known as the polar bear jail. This establishment is essentially a spacious, specifically constructed structure with separate holding compartments. It is a short-term habitat for the bears, where they are housed until they can be safely returned to their natural environment. The objective is to reduce conflicts between humans and bears while ensuring the safety of both the bears and the residents. Number ITE will probably weigh less in Canada. You may be curious about how that is feasible. The force of gravity on Earth varies in different locations. It changes because of a number of reasons, such as the rotation of the Earth, the existence of mountains and valleys, and even the arrangement of land masses. A particular location where this is especially evident is Canada. Let's focus our attention on Canada, particularly the region of Hudson Bay. The gravity in this area is much less than the gravity in other parts of the planet. The cause of this can be traced back to ancient times. In Canada, a significant ice sheet, known as the Laurentide ice sheet, covered a vast area during the most recent ice age. Upon the melting of this massive ice sheet, it greatly affected the landscape. The Earth's crust is gradually rising back up after being pressed down by the thick ice, a phenomenon called isostatic rebound. This results in a small decrease in gravitational pull. So, how much weight reduction are we discussing? Traveling to Hudson Bay could result in weighing approximately at half of an ounce less than in other locations. It may not be a lot, but it's an interesting scientific tidbit that helps us marvel at the beauty of our world. Number 90 of the world's forests are in Canada. Said Canada is a huge nation, with approximately half of its terrain being forested. Picture yourself in a vast forest with tall trees and diverse wildlife as far as the eye can see. These forests play a crucial role in shaping Canada's identity and economy, not just for their beauty. These forests are essential for offering economic resources. Forests have a major economic impact on Canada, from the timber industry to tourism. However, their worth exceeds mere monetary value. The health of our planet also relies on Canadian forests. A stunning fact is that Canadian forests make up 9 of Earth's total renewable freshwater resources. That is a really significant matter. These forests play a key role in preserving the Earth's water cycle, guaranteeing access to uncontaminated and pure drinking water. Forests function as massive absorbent materials, sucking in rainwater and gradually discharging it into bodies of water like rivers and lakes. This procedure helps maintain the cleanliness and replenishment of our water sources. Our freshwater resources would be in a lot of trouble if we didn't have these forests. You can legally own a kangaroo as a pet in Canada. When you imagine Canada, you may visualize stunning scenery, maple syrup, and hockey. What about kangaroos? Not very much. On the other hand, Alberta, a stunning province in Canada, has quite distinctive laws regarding exotic pets. Whether you believe it or not, these laws permit individuals to keep specific exotic animals, such as kangaroos, as pets. Granted, they have the necessary permits. Alberta's method of caring for pets is varied and somewhat unorthodox. In Alberta, unlike in many places, owning a kangaroo is not out of the ordinary due to specific regulations. This demonstrates the diversity and distinctiveness of Canada's laws across different provinces. You may be asking yourself, what would make someone want a kangaroo as a pet? Kangaroos are truly captivating animals. They are sociable, clever, and very powerful. However, having one is not as straightforward as getting a dog or a cat. Kangaroos need plenty of room, a specific diet, and appropriate attention to survive in a non-Indigenous setting. Therefore, what is the process for acquiring a kangaroo in Alberta? Initially, you must request the correct permits. This procedure guarantees that individuals looking to own a kangaroo understand the obligations and have the resources to create a suitable environment for these incredible creatures. The focus is on guaranteeing the security and welfare of both the pet and the Number 8. Canada has the world's smallest jail. Situated in the quaint village of Rodney, Ontario, is a historical treasure that is truly a wonder in itself. This jail is the smallest in the world. When I use the term small, I am referring to its miniature size, only 24.3 m, or roughly 15 ft by 15 ft. That's approximately the dimensions of a compact living space. Constructed in the year 1862, this small prison remained operational until the 1960s. Even though it was tiny, it effectively functioned as a temporary jail for individuals caught breaking the law. Picture this marrow so tiny that you could likely touch both walls simply by extending your arms. Within the premises, there was only space for a limited number of prisoners, with a compact cell area, a small office space, and very little else. It is difficult to imagine that a space so small was once filled with busy activity. It truly offers a peek into the differences of the past. Number 12. Canada is one of the world's most educated countries. You might think of Canada for its stunning landscapes, amazing wildlife, or even its famous maple syrup. But did you know that Canada is also one of the world's most educated countries? That's right. Over half of its residents have college degrees. Let's break down why this is so impressive and what it means for our friends up north. First up, let's talk numbers. In Canada, more than 50 of adults hold a college degree. That's an incredible statistic, especially when you compare it to many other countries. For context, the average across the globe is much lower, so Canada really stands out in this regard. So how did Canada become such a leader in education? One big reason is the country's commitment to making higher education accessible and affordable. Canadian universities and colleges offer a wide range of programs and often have lower tuition fees compared to other countries, especially those south of the border. Another factor is the strong support for lifelong learning. Many Canadians believe in continuous education and skills development throughout their lives. This mindset not only boosts individual careers, but also strengthens the country's overall workforce. How culture shapes attractiveness. In the context of globalization, the image of young, attractive women is often celebrated and widely popular, but not every country has cultural norms that align with this standard. A prime example is Japan, where despite the growing influence of modernity, traditional values still play a significant role in daily life. In this country, there is a clear emphasis on modesty in clothing. Traditional kimono not only showcase elegance, but also convey a sense of modesty and decorum. Young women, while possessing striking beauty, often choose to express themselves in traditional styles where sensuality is not the primary focus. This creates a unique, distinct allure that differs from the typical images of attractiveness found elsewhere. Moving to the Middle East, Saudi Arabia stands out with its stringent social regulations regarding women's attire. Here, women are required to cover their bodies with garments like the abaya, and expressing oneself in a sensual manner is nearly non-existent. The cultural and religious framework shapes an environment in which women find it challenging to express their personal beauty. This results in a significant divergence in the perception and definition of beauty, leading to an appreciation of qualities such as elegance and intelligence rather than conventional sensuality. Finally, Afghanistan cannot be overlooked when discussing countries with cautious cultural expressions. With a foundation of strict cultural norms and religious regulations, women in this country often lack the freedom to express themselves as they wish. They typically must adhere to strict rules regarding clothing and behavior, making sensual expressions feel alien. In this environment, beauty is valued more for qualities like resilience and loyalty rather than outward appearance. These examples not only provide an alternative perspective on the concept of beauty, but also demonstrate that attractiveness can vary according to cultural contexts. Each nation has its own unique ways of showcasing beauty, creating a rich and diverse tapestry where modesty, elegance, and intellect may be held in higher regard than conventional sensual criteria. This fosters a deeper understanding of people and their cultures, enriching our view of the diverse world around us. As we conclude our journey through this enchanting country, we hope you've been inspired by the breathtaking landscapes and the vibrant youth that characterize this remarkable place. From the mesmerizing beaches to the lush mountains, it's clear that this country offers an extraordinary blend of natural beauty and youthful energy that's simply irresistible. Whether you're planning a visit or just dreaming from afar, remember that the world is full of wonders waiting to be explored. Embrace the adventure, discover new cultures, and appreciate the stunning sights that this country has to offer. If you enjoyed this exploration, please give us a thumbs up. Share it with your friends who need some travel inspiration. And don't forget to subscribe for more amazing content. Your support helps us continue bringing you these incredible stories. Until next time, keep seeking out the beauty in the world around you and stay curious.